Leaders from around the world gathered last Thursday. It followed further nuclear and ballistic missile tests carried out by North Korea and the threat of DAESH reaching nuclear materials. United States President Barack Obama welcomed world leaders for his fourth and final nuclear security summit. It focused on securing vulnerable atomic materials to prevent nuclear terrorism.
I welcomed more than 50 leaders from around the world to make sure we're working together to meet one of the greatest threats to global security: terrorists getting their hands on a weapon of mass destruction like a nuclear weapon.
Obama urged to do more to protect nuclear facilities to prevent what he called madmen from getting their hands on nuclear materials.
There's still a great deal of nuclear and radioactive material around the world that needs to be secured. Global stocks of plutonium are growing. Nuclear arsenals are expanding in some countries with more small tactical nuclear weapons, which could be at greater risk of theft.
The US president said that the required 102 countries had already approved to amend a nuclear security treaty that would tighten protections against nuclear theft and smuggling.
As a result, we expect that the treaty will enter into force in the coming weeks.
The summit also focused on North Korea. Obama discussed steps to deter further North Korean missile tests during a meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Obama also joined South Korean President Park Geun-hye and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. They promised to step up pressure on Pyongyang.
북한의 핵능력 고도화를 차단하고 잘못된 셈법을 바꾸기 위해 3국이 무엇을 함께 해 나갈 것인가를 심도 있게 논의하고 대북 공조를 더욱 강화하는 계기가 되었습니다.
But North Korea's ambassador to the United Nations So Se-pyong says that Pyongyang will continue its nuclear and ballistic missile program. Obama also held a special session to discuss the fight against DAESH. He pledged to deploy more US surge teams to Europe after the Brussels attack last month fueled concern that DAESH may target nuclear plants, steal materials, and develop radioactive dirty bombs.
After the Paris attacks, the United States deployed surge teams to Europe to bolster these efforts, and we'll be deploying additional teams in the near future. We all have a role to play.
It's a time of increased tensions between Washington and Moscow over Ukraine and Syria, and Russian President Vladimir Putin refused to attend this year's summit. That led to doubts that the meeting would not produce any major decisions. Obama held the first nuclear summit in 2010. It was a year after he gave a landmark speech in Prague where he said he'd like to see the world free of nuclear weapons. The US president acknowledged that not all the roughly 2,000 tonnes of nuclear material stored around the world is properly secured, and that countries have a role to play in protecting them. The threat of nuclear terrorism has become one of the greatest challenges to international security in the 21st century, and it's a threat that's constantly evolving.